He was the youngest of 8 sons. The youngest, the one sent to watch the sheep while his brothers came home. When the prophet Samuel came to their house to anoint the next king of Israel, Jesse presented 7 sons. 7. Samuel looked at each one and heard nothing. "Where is your youngest?" "He is with the sheep." "Go get him." Samuel had been in mourning over Saul, the first king, the king who had seemed so right and had gone so wrong. God told him, "Stop mourning. Take a horn of oil. Go to Bethlehem. Go to the house of Jesse." Samuel was afraid. "If Saul hears about this, he will kill me." The anointing of a new king while the old one was still alive was not a ceremony. It was treason. When David arrived from the hillside, the text records what God said to Samuel. "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." 7 brothers had stood in front of the prophet. 7 had seemed more qualified, taller, older, experienced. Samuel himself had looked at the eldest and thought, "Surely this is the one." God had stopped him. "Do not look at appearance or height. I look at the heart." The youngest boy, still smelling of sheep, was anointed king while the current king was still on his throne. Then David went back to the sheep, not to a palace, not to a war, back to the hillside, back to the flock. He had been anointed king of Israel, and he went back to 10 sheep. How long did he wait? Years. The number is not precise, but between the anointing and the throne lay a long, difficult road through a court, a battlefield, a cave, and a fugitive's existence. What began that afternoon was not a coronation. It was a preparation. Meanwhile, something was wrong at the palace. King Saul, rejected by God, aware of it, had begun to experience something the text calls a distressing spirit. He was tormented. His servants noticed. Someone suggested music. Music calms the mind. We know someone who plays well. A son of Jesse from Bethlehem. Brave, a man of war, prudent in speech, a good-looking man, and God is with him. 5 things about the boy on the hillside with the sheep, all correct, all unknown to the palace, except through one servant who had seen him. David came to the palace. A shepherd boy carrying his lyre entered the court of the first king of Israel. He played, and Saul loved him greatly, made him his armor-bearer. Sent word to Jesse, "Let David remain in my service, for he has found favor in my sight." David served Saul. He played when the darkness came. The text says whenever the spirit troubled Saul, David would play, and Saul would find relief. The future king, calming the present king. In the same room. Music in the ancient world was not entertainment. It was considered a force. Pythagoras would later argue that music was mathematical structure made audible, the same ratios that governed the stars. Ancient Near Eastern texts describe music as having the power to heal, to appease spirits, to change the air of a room. What David brought to Saul's court was not just talent. In the language of that world, he brought an ordered sound into a disordered space. It worked. For a while. There are 2 Davids in this story, and they will not come together for a long time. The David on the hillside, anointed in secret, waiting for a future he cannot control. And the David in the palace, a servant, a musician, loved by a king who will later try to kill him. Both of them are real. Both of them are necessary. The shepherd who played for the man he would replace. The forgotten chapters don't end here. The next one, is already waiting.